The Lonely Tailor. Hello everyone, welcome back to Learn English with Stories. Today's story is calm, meaningful and easy to follow. It is written for Level 3 English learners. Please listen carefully. You can pause and repeat the sentences if you like. In a quiet town, near a narrow street, there was a small tailor shop. The sign above the door was old and faded. It read, Mr. Elias, Tailor. Every morning, Mr. Elias opened his shop at exactly 8 o'clock. He swept the floor. He cleaned the window. He prepared his needles and thread. Mr. Elias was a very skilled tailor. His hands were steady. His stitches were neat and strong. But his shop was often empty. People in the town walked past his window every day. They were busy. They bought clothes from large stores. Few people stopped to enter his small shop. Mr. Elias did not complain. He sat at his wooden table and worked quietly. When there was no customer, he repaired old clothes for free. He believed every piece of clothing had a story. He lived alone in a small room behind the shop. At night, he ate simple meals. He drank warm tea. He listened to the soft sound of the wind outside. Sometimes the silence felt heavy. Years ago, his wife used to sit beside him while he worked. She would read quietly and smile at him. After she passed away, the shop felt larger and emptier. Mr. Elias kept working. He believed work gave meaning to his days. One cold afternoon, a young girl stood outside his shop. She looked through the window for a long time. Her coat was thin, her shoes were worn. Mr. Elias noticed her and opened the door. "Come in," he said gently. "It is warmer inside." The girl hesitated, then stepped in. She held a torn school uniform in her hands. "I cannot pay much," she said softly. Mr. Elias smiled. "That is not important," he replied. "Please sit." He examined the uniform carefully. The fabric was old but clean. The tear was large. As he worked, the girl watched his hands. "You sew very slowly," she said. "Yes," Mr. Elias answered. "When you sew slowly, you make fewer mistakes." The girl nodded, as if she understood something important. When the uniform was finished, Mr. Elias returned it to her. She smiled widely. "Thank you," she said. "No one has ever fixed my clothes so carefully." After she left, the shop felt a little warmer. The next day, another customer came, then another. Word spread quietly through the town. People said the lonely tailor worked with great care. They said he listened. They said he treated every customer kindly. A young man came with a broken jacket. An old woman came with a faded dress. A boy came with trousers that were too long. Mr. Elias welcomed them all. He did not rush. He listened to their stories. Sometimes he fixed clothes. Sometimes he fixed small pieces of hope. One evening, after closing the shop, Mr. Elias noticed something strange. Someone had left a small box near his door. Inside the box were buttons, colourful buttons, shiny buttons, simple buttons. There was a note. "Thank you for caring about small things." Mr. Elias held the note quietly. His eyes filled with tears, but he smiled. Days passed. The shop was no longer empty. But one afternoon, no customers came. The street was quiet again. Mr. Elias sat alone at his table. For a moment, the old loneliness returned. Then he remembered something. Loneliness does not mean you are forgotten. Sometimes it means you are waiting. He picked up a piece of fabric and began to sew. As the sun went down, the young girl returned. She stood at the door with a small smile. "I learned how to sew," she said proudly. "I wanted to show you." Mr. Elias looked at her hands. The stitches were uneven but full of effort. "You did very well," he said. For the first time in many years, Mr. Elias laughed softly. From that day on, the tailor shop became more than a place for clothes. It became a place for patience, a place for care, a place where quiet people felt welcome. Mr. Elias was still a tailor, but he was no longer lonely. Sometimes the world moves too fast to notice gentle people. But kindness leaves marks that time cannot erase. And sometimes all it takes is one small stitch to bring warmth back into a quiet life. If you enjoyed this story, please listen again and repeat the sentences. Thank you for learning English with stories. See you next time.